Hi, and welcome to this week's Warrior 5. So, back in June, I did a blog that was called 5 Ways to Clear Your Energy. So, I'd like to think that this week's Warrior 5 really follows up on that. It's kind of an adjunct to that because, again, it's talking about clearing. Back in June, we really talked about the importance of clearing your space and how that could have a profound effect on your business. But today, it talks about clearing your mind. So I lifted some of the content and the theme of this week's Warrior 5 from an article that appeared in Outside Magazine, written by a gentleman named Brad Schulberg. And he did the work for the article in preparation for a book that he's writing called Peak Performance. And the idea for the book was really conversations that he had with athletes about how they achieve peak performance. And the interesting thing that came out of his conversations was the fact that most of all the athletes that he spoke to that were very successful lived a very simple life and were very singularly focused on their training. So that's the idea, but certainly this can apply to anybody who is focused on wanting to make their business work. So he listed 3 points in the article, and what I've done is I've taken those 3, plus I've added 2 of my own that are more applicable to business and anybody who would be watching this vlog or reading the blog. So the first starts with really listing your core values, taking the time to list 3 to 5 things that matter most to you. And then having those 3 things be the guideposts in your life. Those are your guiding principles. Now, to work it in for business, you have to think about what is your real end goal? Where do you want to see your business going? But align that with purpose. So you've got those guideposts that are bringing you in the correct direction. Staying within your principles, but really, again, thinking about how that aligns with your business objectives. 2, take an inventory on how you spend your time. And I think this is really important because it doesn't just pertain to your business. And in this case, it didn't just pertain to the athletes, anything that was associated with performance. It was in general. So in general, how do you spend your time on an average day? You know, are you taking coffee breaks? Are you spending time watching television, binging shows? Are you reading blogs? Are you reading posts on Facebook? Are you spending time posting on social media? There's no judgment. It's just important to figure out how your time is spent. And if you can't come up with an average day, which is pretty hard to come up with an average day for most people who are entrepreneurial, just in general, take maybe the last week. How'd you spend your time? Or if you can't make that happen, make a journal and figure out or write it down for the next week how you're going to spend your time, and then journal it and then look at it, okay? And then after you are able to look at it and make some sense of what you've written down, what can you draw an X through? Where can you cut? So it's not only eliminating entirely, but where can you find more time? And in this process, it's guaranteed you will find more time. That's just how this works. Next, For every opportunity that comes your way, do you say yes or do you say no? Or how many times do you say no? That whole shiny object syndrome is real. I am one that suffered from it. I like to use the past tense because I have really been able to take a hatchet to it. And that's probably the hardest thing I ever did in my life, because it's my nature to want to be involved in multiple things. And I am still involved in multiple things, but I've learned to focus on the 3 things or 4 things that I'm involved with and not let anything else get in the way of that unless it truly supports one of those other pillars. So figure out, are you saying yes to things? Are they overwhelming you? Where can you eliminate that? How can you stop yourself? Even if it's daily reminders, don't go there. Okay. Now, those were the 3 things that Brad found to be really relevant in the process of interviewing the athletes that he spoke to. But here are 2 things that I'm adding that are probably more aligned with where you're coming from. So make sure that your attention is focused on the big picture goals of your business. What are the revenue drivers in your business? So that's what you really have to be focused on. Not the things you like doing most. I can guarantee you they're probably not the same thing. Some might be, but where is your money coming from? You want to get this success. So you've got to focus on the things that are going to allow you to generate revenue the fastest way. So that's what you need to do. If you're going to be successful, you need to channel your energy into this direction. Okay, and the final, are you forgetting about self-care? I threw that in because it's one of the most important things that you can do. You are expending a tremendous amount of energy on your business, physical and mental. That means you need to replug and recharge, or unplug rather, unplug and recharge every day for at least some period of time. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, make sure you're getting enough hydration, make sure you're getting enough exercise, make sure you're getting, enough relaxation in your life. So that's very, very important. So those are the Warrior 5s. List the core things, make an inventory on how you're spending your time, cut down on shiny object syndrome, focus on the big picture and where your revenue comes in, and get enough care. Take your self-care very seriously. So we'll see you next week for another edition of Warrior 5, and would love your comments. Thanks.